Pedro here to do an album review, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about Light the Torch Revival, coming out March 30th on Nuclear Blast. And this is Howard Jones' brand new work, former lead singer of Killswitch Engage. Well, newest work. This band was known as Devil You Know, but they've gone through some issues, legal issues and issues with the band, and also some personal issues, and they've decided to rebrand themselves as Light the Torch. And this is under Light the Torch, this is their debut album, Revival. So let me say this, I really got excited about this album, main reason being Howard Jones. I really like his vocals, I really like his vocal delivery, so that was one of the main reasons that this album appealed to me. The second part was knowing that they had gone through these struggles, knowing that had gone through personal difficulties. That to me appealed to me from a sense of what the lyrics of this album were going to be, what kind of vibe this album was going to give us, because that normally is always reflected on the music that the band will do, those own personal demons and personal struggles. But let's get into the album. So the album has 12 songs and it's 43 minutes in length, and the overall vibe of the album, like if I have one word to describe this album, that word would be introspect. I really feel that this album is really a look deep inside at our own questions, at our own demons, at the things that plague our lives, and then us, and then the writer, not us, but the writer then looking at the answers and perhaps figuring it out that for some of those questions there are no answers. And so the album kind of takes you on that journey, even though it's not a concept album. Each song stands on its own, but the overall feel of the album to me was really an album about introspect, asking questions, and really trying to find the answers to those questions. I also felt that the album was broken down into 3 parts. So if you look at the number of songs, it has 12 songs. I really feel like the album was 4 songs, 4 songs, 4 songs. And each section of the album really gave you, lyrically, it gave you, and even musically, it gave you a little bit of something different. I really felt that the first part of the album was more about that introspect, when you're having an introspective moment, when you sit down and you start thinking about all the things that are going on around your life, you start asking yourself questions. And I really felt that the first part was really about asking questions and really wondering about certain situations. Then I found that the middle part was more coming to grips, or maybe coming to some realization that some of those questions, maybe the answer is not what you really want to hear, but this is the answer that deeply I have for you. And then towards the later stages of the album, it was almost more of anger, more of final realization, learning how to deal with what you've learned in the middle part. Now I have to learn how to deal with that and move forward with my life, because there's no point on me continue to debate on things that either I can control or I know that I can do nothing about. So I really felt that the album, musically and lyrically, had those 3 different stages, which is really cool. I really personally connected with this album on a personal level, because a lot of those inner struggles, a lot of those inner demons are things that I've gone through in my life in the last couple of years. So I really felt myself extremely connected to some of the songs on this album, especially from the lyrically perspective. I really felt connected with the lyrics of the song. I really felt invested in it. I really felt almost like the album was speaking to me personally, like somebody knew about my own inner demons and inner struggles, and it was helping me deal with those by letting me know that, hey, you're not alone. There's other people that are going through that kind of stuff as well. So I really connected deeply with the album. As far as the music and the lyric side of things, if you're looking for an album with a lot of harsh vocals or a lot of heaviness to it, you know, you're going to probably be disappointed. From a vocal delivery perspective, the album is pretty much clean vocals all the way through, with the exception of one song, which is all harsh vocals. But the album is pretty much clean vocals all the way through. It has some harsh vocals sprinkled in here and there on every song. So every song has some harsh vocals in it, but very sporadic, very well placed. To me, it felt almost like the harsh vocals were being used as a specific instrument to really help deliver what the point in that specific song was. Either a moment of anger, a moment of frustration, a moment of inner thoughts that are turning into denial, whatever the case might be. But to me, it felt that by having clean vocals all the way through and just sprinkling in here and there, very sporadic, some harsh vocals in the songs, it really allowed for the harsh vocals to not take over the songs and not take over what the message in the lyrics was, but really be used as another instrument in order to deliver the best possible way, to deliver that song in the best possible way to its listener. Like I said, there's only one song that's all the way with harsh vocals, and that's song number 10 on the album. But the rest have harsh vocals sprinkled in there, but it's pretty much clean vocals all the way through. And I think that's important for the listener to understand going in, so that there's not certain expectations and then you feel like those expectations are not met. I really believe for the storytelling aspect of each song, for you as the listener to really get the inner thoughts and the inner demons of the person who wrote the song and now the person singing the song, I really feel that the clean vocals do it better justice. And I really feel that adding those sprinkled in harsh vocals here and there add to the message itself, and like I said, it adds to the song. And I really find that combination that works really well. And it's funny enough that I enjoy harsh vocals and I enjoy heavier songs, and the heavier songs came towards the later stages of the album. The last 4 songs of the album are the heaviest songs in the album and are the songs that have the most amount of harsh vocals as well. The first 8 songs of the album have them sprinkled in, like I said, here and there. Now, as far as my favorite songs are concerned, I'm going to start with the first 2. I'm going to leave my absolute favorite for last. So one of my favorite songs is Die Alone, which was the first single that came out of the album. It's also the first song on the album. To me, this song has an incredible combination of heavy guitar riffs, cool, super fast riffs, clean vocals, and like I said, with sprinkled in harsh vocals at the right spots to give it that extra punch, to give it that extra anger, to really have the listener understand that at certain times you cannot control those inner thoughts and those inner demons, and it just has to come out. So that fact that those lyrics, those vocals were, those sprinkled in harsh vocals came in at those specific times, to me, it added to the beauty of that song. It was really a great way to start the album. Also, being the first single was a song that I was familiar with, so going into the album, it kind of eased me into the album. So I have to make that point that this song is one of my favorites. Another song that I consider one of my top 3 in this album is the Calm Before the Storm, which was the second single that came out. It's a little bit different than the first one. I found it to be more of an anthem song, more of a fist in the air, you know, screaming out loud how you feel, putting it out there. Probably a great song, in my opinion, for a live setting, because I think this song will really lend itself to be an anthem and to be something that people can really get behind in a live setting and really sing and put their fists up in the air and the horns and just go wild. It had a little bit of a different vibe, not as fast-paced as Die Alone, but still an absolutely beautiful song. The clean vocals in the song are amazing, like I said, with a little bit of a sprinkle here and there of some harsh vocals. But lyrically and musically, this song is much different than the first one. Like I said, more of an anthem, not as much as a heavy guitar riff, super fast riff kind of song. Now, my absolute favorite song in this album is The Safety of Disbelief. Beyond any other song in this album, I felt myself connected emotionally to this song. And it's probably, and it's not probably, it is the song that I've heard the most. Every time I listen to this album, this song, I play it on repeat at least 3 or 4 times before I move on to the next one. Just because I felt that personal connection with the lyrics of this song. Things that have gone on in my life have made me connect at that deeper level and that emotional level with this specific song. And it's an absolute killer song, has an amazing chorus, has an incredible hook in the chorus. After you listen to this song once, you will be singing the chorus over and over again every single time you listen to the song. It's so catchy, and it combines that catchy hook in the chorus with a very beautiful but very subtle, not over the top, very subtle guitar harmony at the same time that adds not only beauty, it adds melancholy to the song, it adds a little bit of darkness, and it adds the fact that you start perhaps realizing that you have some demons and there's nothing you can do about it. When you put all these factors together, like I said, I truly connected with this song, and it's by far my favorite song of the album. I'm sure other people will have different songs, but I think this album, at the end of the day, you can give this album to 100 people. 100 people will pick 3 different favorite songs, because every song is very unique, and I'm sure everybody is going to find a song on this album that they're going to connect with on a personal level, because it's just that intimate. It's just that personal. And it's impossible to listen to this album having gone through different life experiences, some of them unpleasant ones, and not feel that there is at least one song that you're going to connect with at that higher level, at that deeper connection that you're going to find. It's impossible. There's going to be at least one song in this album that everybody's going to connect to. So therefore, this is going to be an album where everybody perhaps is going to have different favorite songs for that reason, and that reason alone. And that's it for me. I absolutely love this album. I highly recommend this album. It's probably going to be one of those albums that are going to go under the radar for a lot of people. So I hope that by doing this review, I really bring this album to light. No pun intended. And I really hope a lot of people pick it up and listen to this. It's a great record. I really, like I said, I really found a deeper connection with it, especially with the lyrics. And I highly recommend you guys listening to this album. You won't be disappointed in Light the Torch Revival. And by the way, last but not least, they could have not picked a better name for this album, because Revival really, it's really the bow that's wrapping this gift. Because Revival, I think, is the best way to explain or call an album that has this kind of lyrical content in it and this kind of music in it. It's really well done. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know in the comment section what do you think of Light the Torch Revival. Let me know if you're planning on picking it up. Let me know what you think of Howard Jones. I'm interested in seeing if I'm the only big Howard Jones fan out here. So let me know in the comment section below. Take care, guys.